it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Hey, and welcome in. It's In-Game Live Game Day on this money-making Thursday. Scott Wetzel, Day Sharapan for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern Time, watching, analyzing, betting on the world of sports. Ah, yes, Dave. The top golfers are at the bottom of the PGA. Caleb Williams writes his ticket out of Chicago. What a dope he is. Holy fudge. Nuggets, Capitals, and Jets all facing do or be eliminated situations. Can anyone survive and force a game 6? We'll find out. What's going on, my friend? How are you this evening?
Oh, it's great. It's a terrific Thursday. We usually reserve that for Tuesday, but it's Thursday. We got elimination games. We don't have much baseball on the slate, but we do have the Dodgers later, and the Dodgers helped everybody last night. Covered the run line, got some runs late. Ohtani hit a home run. We'll talk about all that as we get closer, to game time for that. Caps and Hurricanes are in a really good hockey game. Again, the games have been great. 3 unders, 1 over. We're tied 1-1 after 1. It's the first time the first period went over. So we missed the goal horn. Yeah, we missed the goal horn. So we'll get the goal horn any time a goal is scored, whether it's in this game or in the later game, Dallas and Winnipeg. I can't wait to see what you think about that one.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that game should be at least 2-2, to tell you the truth, because I don't know if you saw it, right? So Washington comes down, they hit the post, wide open net, basically. Would have been an easy goal, right? But the guy hits the post. Carolina then comes down, Dave. Some guy takes his shot. The rebound is kicked in front. It is a wide open net. I know you were kind of laughing at the Carolina goaltender because he screwed up and allowed the Washington goal. The Caps goalie, Thompson, I mean, he was just completely gone. Wide open net, and the guy who had got the rebound takes the shot, and Thompson got just a little piece on it, and it kicked to the right of the post, no goal. But when you see it, it's just like, I mean, how can't you score, right? And that was about 30 seconds left in the period. So we really should have had 2 more goals. But 1-1. I think Washington's going to win tonight. I think both Washington and Winnipeg both survive tonight. I really do.
I am going Washington in the first one, Dallas in the second one. I think we get a closeout like we did last night. Edmonton found a way to close out Vegas. And I mean, that was an unbelievable hockey game. Stayed 0-0 the whole, first 3 periods. And Edmonton's moving on. I mean, they're the odds-on favorite now. And, the winner tonight of the Western semifinal will await them in the Western Conference Final with home ice. Another series where the Oilers won't have home ice and keep on moving. So the hockey's been great, but it's time, as it is always in this time, first segment, beginning of the show, for this 5 on the line that we've been giving to the people. First order business after we get this big fancy graphic and you announce it. You got to tell people how we did last night.
Last night, not bad. Back on the winner side of things. We went 3-2 on Monday, 2-3 on Tuesday, 4-1 last night. We hit with Vander Kane. He got 3 shots on goal, and it was in regulation. He didn't need that to go to overtime, depending on how your book grades that stuff. He did have 3 in the first 60 minutes. We had the Padres winning. We had the over A's Dodgers hitting. We lost Colorado, Texas, but we'll sacrifice that as we hit with Colorado, or hit with Texas rather, as our number 1 play. So as they won easily over the fading fast Rockies. So 4-1, not bad. We're 30 games over 500, or is it 40? 80, 97, 07, yeah, 30 games. 117 and 87 since we've been doing this about 2 months or so ago. So with that said, that was yesterday. What are we doing today? Time for 5 on the line. All right, obviously not a lot to choose from tonight, right? Not that much baseball going on. We got 1 hockey game already underway, and we're going to get the 1 NBA game. But we found 5 pretty good trends tonight. We'll start in the NBA. Pick number 5 as we descend down to number 1. Denver coming off a loss, 25-12 straight up. 19 and 18 against the spread, but I looked it up and went way more times than not they were favorites. This is a situation where they lose their last game and now they're an underdog, so you really don't even need them to win as long as they cover the spread. So Denver 25-12 straight up after losses. They're at home. Let's go with Denver plus the 4.5 as a trend against OKC.
That's fine. Again, am I saying all the time about trends are your friends until they're not? You can ride this trend if you like, but my friend tonight is going to be OKC. I think OKC wins and closes out the series, so I'd rather take them, but everybody makes their own choice. That was number 5. What's number 4?
Number 4, we'll go to baseball. We only got 2 games going on right now, or at least will be going on, right? So let's use one of them. Dodgers 16-4 at home this season, and more importantly, 13 of those 16 wins, including last night, have come by 2 runs or more. So don't be afraid to lay the wood. I'll take the Dodgers minus the 1.5 runs against the Sacramento, Oakland, Pick a City A's.
Oh, my. I like that. I like that one a lot. Whoa! We got to go.
We don't interrupt 5 on the line too often, but what do we got?
Wow. We got Washington goal. 2-1 Washington. Dodgers run line is good. Beto, winless in his last 4 starts, 0-2 with a 6.86 ERA and has allowed 8 home runs. Let's go, Dodgers. This blue looks good. What's number 3?
All right, number 3, we'll update the hockey lines as soon as they become available. It's a 2-1 Washington. Baseball again, Texas. Yeah, we've given this out so many times. Now, again, it didn't hit last night, but it's hit like 5 out of 6 times we've given it out. Texas remains at home, 29-14-1 under, the number 1 under team in all of baseball, including 18-5 at home. So great pitching matchup tonight, DeGrom and Brown for the Astros. Where are we going to go? Give us under. I don't go under 7 too often, but I will tonight. Well, it's the trend. The trend says under, no matter what the number is, under 7 Houston at Texas.
This would be the first time that Texas would win 6 in a row. This is rivalry weekend where the teams within the same states are all playing each other. Texas, Houston should be fun, okay? But let's hope it goes under. I like DeGrom to pitch well tonight.
All right, back to hockey for pick number 2 on our 5 on the line. Winnipeg, 10-2, their last 12 at home. They can't win for anything, for beans on the road. Clearly, this postseason, they're winless. But at home, they're tough to beat. So 10-2, their last 12 at home, facing elimination. Where are we going to go? Get them at a pretty good price, minus 125 against Dallas.
It's okay. I disagree with this one, too. I'm not right all the time. You're not right all the time. That's what makes the world go round. Everybody has an opinion. Trend says take Winnipeg. I say, buck the trend with that one. Take Dallas, but we will wait and see what is number 1.
That was Buck with a B. It's kind of like my fudge.
baby.
That leaves us with only one. Yes, the creme de la creme, coup de grace, number one trend. Under. There we go. Under 11-1 now, Winnipeg versus Dallas, including 4 of the 5 games in this series. I mean, 11-1 is 11-1, folks. I don't like playing unders in elimination games because of the empty net situation. I really don't.
Yep.
But 11-1 is too good to buck. So under 5.5 Dallas Winnipeg, your number one trend.
Some of my favorite Bucks would include Buck Showalter and Buck Rogers, but I like that
Buck
number
Evans.
one the best. Yeah, maybe you guys tweet at us. Maybe we come up with some other Buck Weaver. He was on the White Sox team that apparently fixed the games and stuff. Yeah, those look good. I think that's another 4-1. That looks good to me.
Buck no deal.
We'll talk more about
If you know who
The goal
Buck
was
Evans
disallowed.
is, I'd be impressed. I'll tell you about it when we come back.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not gonna be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Lost Pages. Let's get lucky.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave just getting underway. So we last left you with our trend plays. Let's recap those real quickly in case you missed it. Tuned in a little late. Our 5 on the line trends 4-1 yesterday. We got Denver plus 4.5 as 25-12 coming back after losses this season. We got the Dodgers laying a 1.5 against the A's. LA 16-4 at home this year. We got under 7 Houston and Texas. We keep telling you Rangers now 18-5 under this year at home, where this game is. Winnipeg 10-2, their last 12 at home. So take the Jets against the Dallas Stars, and in that same game, under 11-1 last 12 meetings between Dallas and Winnipeg. So grab the under 5.5, Dallas and the Jets. So we thought we had a goal, Dave. What happened? No goal?
No goal. Carolina, Brindamore. Good call right there. I challenged the offsides, and Brindamore knew it almost immediately. And it didn't take but a second. He was clearly offsides. I cannot believe how many times that's happened, let alone this playoffs, just in general, where on a goal, a guy was offsides and somebody caught it from the bench or somebody caught it from the booth upstairs, challenge it. It's still 1-1, 15 minutes to go. The in-game number's back coming down. So, because if that goal was going, it was 6.5. It's back to 5.5, and it's going to be 4.5 if we go another couple minutes here. Did you do a poll question tonight? Did you?
I did.
Did you put one up? Okay.
We did.
What is it?
What is it? Let me get to it. Hold on a second, because we do so many.
There it is. All right.
There it is.
I see it.
All right.
I'll read it.
So
who has the best chance of coming back to win its NBA or NHL playoff series? NBA, Denver over OKC, or obviously the Celtics over the Knicks, and then the NHL, Toronto over Florida, which should get no votes. That 100% should be the last one that never get a vote. And then Winnipeg over Dallas. Wow, that's an interesting thing. You were so negative yesterday, despite breaking out the Paul Pierce jersey and stuff in studio. Who would you vote for? For me, that's pretty clear. I think that's easy. Celtics for me.
In between. Why? I don't get that. People are like people blind. Their best player is not playing, and their third best player is got some kind of disease. I'm playing with the Peyton Pritchards. Listen, I got 5 white guys on the court for Boston. That's not good. I'm sorry. It's not good. How are they going to win? In New York, it's no way. And Celtics are leading. Now, listen, we just posted up that 2 minutes ago, so we got 27 votes. But still, Celtics are leading 44%. I don't understand how people think Boston is going to beat the Knicks. I don't get it. They don't have anybody.
Essentially, they only have to win one game, because if they get to Game 7, the assumption is that they're going to win. I'm not saying that's right, but if they get through the Game 6, then they're going to win Game 7. You're asking the Knicks to go there and win a road game in a decider after the Celtics were left for dead? I don't know. I think that's the thinking. I mean, really, do you think either? I know Toronto is not coming back against Florida.
Toronto's
that's easy. Do you think?
I'd say Denver.
Would you vote for Winnipeg?
I would have said Winnipeg or Denver.
Okay.
Denver, because it's 3-2, and they got Game 6 at home, whereas Game 6 is in New York, so it's kind of reversed. That's it. Would you rather have? There's a good question. Would you rather be in Denver's shoes, having Game 6 at home, Game 7 on the road, or Celtic shoes, having Game 6 on the road, but Game 7 at home? I'd rather have Denver's situation. Game 7, anything can happen. Game 7, no matter where you're playing. The nerves kick in, and I'd rather have Game 6 at home. But what do you think?
I think so. I was going to say I'd rather have the Knicks scenario than anyone right now, which is the same as the Denver scenario, except the Knicks are up 3 games to with the home game. So give me Game 6 at home with a chance to close it out. That's what I want. Give me Game 6 with a chance to get it to a Game 7. I'd rather have that as well. So yeah, I don't think it's a question. I don't want the other one.
Yeah. I just don't see Boston winning. I really don't. Again, at Porzingis, 1 point last night. Something's wrong with the dude. So you're down really 2
Everyone
of your
else
best
stepped
3
up,
guys.
though. Doesn't that give you some encouraging?
No. You know what? I know it's going to sound crazy, but now the Knicks are in an absolute bounce-back spot. They played like crap. I would have rather had the Celtics win last night by 5 to 10 points. Close game, competitive game. We took the Knicks' best shot, and we beat them. The Celtics didn't take the Knicks' best shot last night. They took the Knicks' best shot for a half, survived, and then they just, for whatever reason, fell apart in New York second half. So I don't have any really, encouragement from that performance. Close game, good win. Yeah. Porzingis scores, 15 points. He's back to his old self. Yeah. But Knicks threw that game away. This is a classic bounce back spot for New York. Classic. So
why is the line only 2
I don't know.
2.5?
You tell me. You're the guy. Why? Because they think the Celtics are going to, for some dopey. Why are the Celtics leading our poll? People just believe into good teams. They're not looking at the situation.
I told Walsh just before we started our show here on Game Time Decisions that because he said, "What is the line for a theoretical Game 7?" And he said it won't be 5. The Celtics won't be a 5-point favorite or 4-point favorite. It'll be lower. And I said, well, no, it'll be at least what it was in Game 5, if not a little bit more. Because right now, the Knicks are 2.5 because I know that if I'm running the book, if I go to 3, I'm getting an absolute just deluge of money on the Celtics. They're looking to take 3. I know that. Yeah. I'm not giving them 3. So, yeah. So that's why the line's 2.5. Now, again, that doesn't mean it's the right side. But if you know what the people are going to bet, that's why you leave the line what it is. I don't know what you're going to come up with here for the same game parlay, but I know we got that coming up next. How did you do yesterday with that same game parlay? Missed by 1, I think, right?
Yeah. The game went over.
Right.
Game went over.
Yep.
So, what? Ohtani killed us. We had Ohtani hitting a home run to lead the game off. So never. SGP is coming up next. Right back on baseball.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong. It is incorrect.
He's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing your thing now where you double down on a take that is incorrect.
The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play.
He's
over
not
a 7th-round
There were
pick
2
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave checking out a little hockey, a little NBA starting here in a little bit. And then we got 2 baseball games. But right now, it's just the hockey. So plenty of time to get our SGP same game parlay in. I don't think we've hit one of these this week. This is a rare week. We usually get at least one. Try and get one out of the way, so we're playing with house money. This week it didn't happen, so we're on a Thursday, so we're definitely due. We'll use the baseball game again. We'll go right back to the well. We came close last night. Didn't happen, but let's do it again. Right back on the Dodgers, minus 205. Won't fool around with laying a run and a half, even though we had the trend there about them winning all their games by 2 runs or more. But we'll go minus 205. We'll go over 5.5 runs, LA Dodgers, because if they're at home, then they're going to win. I think this guy Beto on the hill, halfway decent, but the Dodgers should get 6 runs. Let us go. Also, Ohtani, 2 total bases. He hit that in his first at-bat last night, right back on the well. We'll use Mookie Betts to score a run because they gave me nothing, literally 0 for Ohtani scoring a run. So let's go Betts to score a run minus the 190. We'll use Dodgers minus a half the first 5 innings. I actually like that at minus 140. You know, if you really don't want to lay the 2.5, that's not a bad bet on its own anyway, minus 140. And then this is the kicker. We need 3 hits or more in the first inning, plus 165. I'm counting on the Dodgers to get at least 2. Wow. Well, because I used 2 hits and that wasn't enough. Yeah.
All right, that's kind of a random thing. I'm a little worried about that. This was all coming together very nicely with all these other things, I think, and then you threw in a little thing to pump it up. I know what you did. You wanted to pump up the payout, and that plus 165 does. That's the one I'm most worried about. Which one are you most worried about?
I guess that would be the one, but I got some guy named Osvaldo on the hill. If the Dodgers can't get 3 hits off of an Osvaldo, what is that? I mean, really? So anything we get out of the A's is going to be a bonus, you know, 1 less. I mean, he's not getting Ohtani. He's a right-handed pitcher, so Ohtani's getting a base hit. You know that. And that'll just, you know, open up the floodgates to everything else that's going on. So, yeah, good old Osvaldo's not stopping the Dodgers.
Osvaldo Beto was a Pirate previously. He's winless in his last 4 starts, 0-2 with a 6.86 ERA, has allowed 8 home runs. It's a weird fact, and my guys at MLB put it this way, strange but true. Beto has pitched at least 5 innings in all 8 starts this year, but he's never completed 6 innings. How strange is that? So he's gotten them to the 5th, gotten into the 6th, but hasn't completed the 6th. So Dodgers first 5 is good. I think that's another option. I think they'll get to him and do this. I hope they get the hits in the first inning because I'll be kind of disgusted if this thing loses in the first inning because you only get 2 hits or less, and then everything else hits. Right? Have you ever done that where you put in a 6-teamer and then a 5-teamer? Oh, yeah.
And you see the odd difference, and you see that it's like it's so tempting, you know. And this one went from like 4-1 to 8-1. It's, you know, once you get to like 6, it really kind of, no matter what the bet is, it does bump it way up. They're not at dopes, you know. They know what they're doing. If I got to pull one in a 5 for 4 or a 6 for 8, you know, give me the 8.
Math. It's not personal. It's just math. That's all it is. It's a 1-1 still in the hockey. What?
I am going up. Like last night, I had a tie score after 1. I could have gone right back to that, and I normally do, right? But with this Beto dude on the hill, it's like I'm not getting burned twice on this. Top of the lineup, Dodgers figured to score. So if they come out of this thing scoreless, then I'm really going to be ticked off in the first inning.
Oh, man, that would be no good. Yeah. This weekend's rivalry weekend, they're calling it, for Major League Baseball. All the rivalries, you know, cities, Mets are playing the Yankees, Pirates are playing the Phillies, the Astros are playing the Rangers tonight is the only one that starts. Dodgers, Angels, Freeway Series. Do you like that? I like that when they do that.
Yeah, you know what? I don't remember baseball ever doing that. I know they've done certain teams. You know, I have recognized like 2 or 3, right? But you said it, they got them all day. You look at tomorrow's lineup, Friday afternoon, White Sox, Cubs, right? Obviously Illinois. You got Cleveland and Cincinnati, you know, Ohio. You got Pittsburgh Phillies. You got the Mets. You got Nationals. I mean, they're all of them. Poor Detroit's got to play Toronto, but, you know, that's, I guess, their closest rivalry. Red Sox and Rays, just because the Red Sox. Rays and Marlins, right. Kansas City Kansas City and St. Louis. So
Seattle's playing San Diego. What the hell is that? Well, that's Brady Cannon next.
certain your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never
They
does.
played side by side
Yes.
with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't
the
that
best
it wasn't as
quarterback
good as
prospect
Quinn
they've ever
Ewers.
got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian
Why
made
would it be
very
Quinn
clear
Ewers'
the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick,
Quinn
Arch
Ewers'
Manning is
team.
not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong.
I
It
just
is
told
incorrect.
you he's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm
you're
buying
doing
him
your
because
thing now
I
where you
expect him to
double
have
down on a
decent
take
No, I'm
that
not
is
doing that.
incorrect
The
when I
best
show it's
quarterback
incorrect.
prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over a
not so.
7th-round
There were
pick
two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback
Stop
recruits
it.
in the history
Stop
of the
it.
sport.
Quinn
Vince
Ewers couldn't
Young
even play at
and
Ohio
Quinn
State.
Ewers.
He couldn't even play at
Vince
Ohio
Young and
State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, our number 1. We got hockey still tied 1-1. We got Texas and Houston, no score in the second. So we'll keep you posted on that. We got the NBA start here in a little bit as well. But the PGA Championship, round number 1. It's a who's who of basically nobody's on top. So someone who is a somebody, our good buddy Brady Cannon joins us now. Talk a little golf. What's going on, Brady? Not quite the leaderboard that we were expecting, I would think anyway, after round 1.
Jonathan Vegas, he's been a tour veteran for a long time. And actually, if you look at his game, it's not necessarily completely surprising. He's a great driver of the golf ball. That's been his signature skill set his entire career. University of Texas guy, the first Venezuelan ever to lead a major championship after round 1, by the way. This is courtesy of my friend Justin Ray on Twitter. I think he's been in 45 some major championships before in his career. The highest he's ever been after a certain round is 9th. So new territory for Jonathan Vegas. Ryan Gerard is a tour rookie, and he went to Chapel Hill, UNC Chapel Hill. So, a home game for him of sorts here in Charlotte. So kind of cool for him to show up. Luke Donald, the European Ryder Cup captain at 47 years old, shoots 4 under par. And then his counterpart, Keegan Bradley, the United States Ryder Cup captain, he shoots 3 under par. I think they did better than anybody that's on their respective teams. So, yeah, I mean, you got to go about 20 people deep before there's literally anybody that the casual golf fan recognizes. Scotty Scheffler is sitting there at 2 under par, and he didn't play that well at all today. So for him to get out of there at 2 under is pretty good. Look out for that guy. Tyrrell Hatton and Victor Hovland. Tyrrell Hatton finished at 3, Hovland at 2. Those are a couple of names for you that I certainly think can contend here. Hatton is a guy I'm on pre-tournament. But I believe, guys, that this golf course is only going to get tougher, and eventually the cream is going to rise to the top.
So, BK, all I heard all week was how this was going to be rain-soaked, and it was going to be, for the long hitters and all this other stuff. I'm watching it all day today while I was at home and doing the other shows and everything. It looked pretty nice. Like, it didn't look like the course was there to be had. Now, you just said it. This is going to come back a little bit, right? I mean, we're not seeing 7 unders, 6 unders and stuff either tomorrow or the weekend, right? This is coming back.
Yeah. I think today was probably the easiest day. I think tomorrow could be similar. And then once we hit Saturday and Sunday, I think the party's over. All the rain happened early in the week. They got like 4 or 5 inches in 4 or 5 days. So it was definitely soaked. Now, today, all that moisture, the sun was beating on it and it got very humid and the golf balls were just flying. A lot of guys were complaining because they had a lot of mud on their ball, and the PGA ruled that you could not lift clean in place. You had to play it as it is. Scotty Scheffler was really ticked off. I guess he hit a drive right down the middle on one of the hardest holes on the golf course, hit his second shot right into the water because it had a big chunk of mud on it. And when you get something, it's like a spitball in baseball. It's going to totally throw off that rotation and take it in different directions. And so some of the guys were kind of crying a little bit, but I understand as well. But that's eventually going to work itself out as well as this golf course does dry out. There's no more rain in the forecast from here on out. And there's also sub-air systems under the greens, so they can suck out of the putting surfaces. Those are going to continue to get firmer and faster. We already saw some balls, bounce on these greens and not necessarily stick like you're throwing darts. So I think, and you're hitting approach shots from a long ways out too. 175 to 200 yards or more. Long iron play is going to be predominant here. And when you're hitting, 200-yard shots, you guys know it's pretty tough to hold your ball on a green, especially when it's a very firm putting surface. So, yeah, I think this just gets harder and harder. Like I say, tomorrow might be one more day where they're giving you a little bit of room to get out there and score. But if you can't get it done today and yesterday, I think you're in real trouble over the weekend.
Yeah. And any thought, Brady, of getting a break with the boys in Vegas? Not the case. I mean, Scheffler, not too many times a guy in 20th place would still be your odds-on favorite, but it's Scheffler, it's DeChambeau, it's Hatton. You do have Vegas there at 18-1, but it's basically the same main guys, even though they're all 5, 6, 7, 8 shots behind.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, Rory shoots 3 over today. He's now 10 shots off the lead. And what is he, 30 or 33-1? I mean, I would not bet on. Yeah, I would not bet on him. Again, courtesy of my friend Justin Ray on Twitter, noted that 34 out of the last 35 PGA Championship winners have been 6 shots or less off the lead after day one. Now, I kind of put that basically says anybody at -1 or better. I'll go all the way to +1 because Vegas is 2 shots ahead of everybody else. I think he's a little bit of an outlier. Let's call -5 the true lead right now. So I think +1, if you're going by that 6-shot margin there, I think +1 is absolutely still in this golf tournament. They say you can't win a golf tournament on the first day, but you can certainly lose it. I think it's over for Brooks Koepka. Justin Thomas is teetering. Patrick Cantlay is, shot 4 over. Shane Lowry, I believe, was 2 over. So there was definitely some guy, and Rory at 3 over. This might be over for him. I thought about pushing the button and submitting a bet just for some pizza money last night on Rory to miss the cut, because it often happens after you attain something so massive in your career, like winning the Masters, and then on top of that, winning the career Grand Slam. Boy, it's hard to get back up and do it all over again, and Rory could be headed towards a missed cut here.
Brady, have you paid any attention to the season wins and the stuff that went out since the schedule release? Have you noticed anything or heard any buzz about this?
No, I have not. And Dave,
right.
I tell you what, I think this NFL, Adam Kaplan did a spot with Scott Farrell on Coast to Coast today that I thought was really insightful. But I think for the most part, this NFL schedule release is becoming such it's like, Christmas cards that are on the shelf in July or something. It's like, gosh, last time I checked, everybody's playing other teams from the NFL. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
And the Buffalo Bills are actually going to play teams from the AFC East. It's just amazing stuff that came out last night. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are going to play the Ravens again. No, so the NFL just tries to dominate the news story every day. Oh my God, the schedule's out. Holy cow!
It's too much. I agree with you. I mean, the Patriots
It's baseball
are
season. It's
favored
hockey
in
playoff
12.
season. It's I mean, let's wait a little bit. I'll get to the schedule in August.
The Patriots are favored in 12 games, boys. They're favored in 12
Whoa.
games. They were favored in 0 last year. They're favored in 12. Their season win total is 7.5. And every person in the content space, BK, is saying that the Patriots are going over easy. I'm like, wait a second.
I don't know how they think that.
Yeah.
Did not watch Drake May play. I'll say
I
this
thought
though.
I thought their win total was 8.5. Is it 7.5 or
7.5 with juice over or 8.5 with juice under. Yes.
Yeah. I'll say this though about the schedule. Looking at it now, you look at Detroit Lions schedule at Baltimore. They got at Cincinnati, at Kansas City, Tampa Bay, which is going to be easy, at Philadelphia, at the Rams. I mean, it is just like one at Philadelphia. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions don't make the playoffs, Brady. I really
Washington
wouldn't.
could be headed for some regression as well. Everybody knows about the Commanders now. So that typically happens from one year to the next in the NFL.
Yeah.
Hey, are you bummed out that the Knights are done, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I mean, but they deserved it. They didn't look good, Hats off to Edmonton.
Yeah. You got the Las Vegas Aces. Maybe they'll take up the slack.
That's right. Let's go alive.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas.
It wasn't that he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong. It is incorrect.
He's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing
him
your thing now where you double down on a take that is incorrect.
The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play.
He's
over
not
a 7th-round
There were
pick
two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
I'm serious. Welcome back. Just having a little conversation about the Red Sox and any ties we may have to Boston. Anyway, in-game line, game day here on the grid. Speaking of football, let me throw this out there, Dave, since you brought it up right, with Brady.
Yep.
Did you see the story on the 4-Letter Network about the book the guy is writing about quarterbacks and what Caleb Williams and his father said? This is like mind-boggling.
Actually, yes. Matt and I addressed it on Bostonian versus the book. I did not know about it until he brought it up and it made the rundown. Explain it to people exactly what your point of view is on it or what he said, because I can't believe it. I just can't.
It's one of the dumbest things in the world, right? So This guy's writing a book, American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. So we'll give him credit. Seth Wickersham, right? I think I've heard of him. So, anyways,
he's an unbelievable writer, a nationally known
right?
writer. Big deal. Yes, go ahead.
So he talks to all these quarterbacks in all situations, whether it's the Mannings and whether the Peyton Manning and Eli and all these different stories about quarterbacks, right? So Caleb fits into the bill. Caleb and his father tell him, Chicago, this is a quote, Chicago is the place where quarterbacks go to die. Do you want to go there? I don't think I can do it with former offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, he tells the writer. He says, my father was ticked off as well. In fact, they looked into a lawsuit that they didn't want to go to Chicago so badly since Chicago held the #1 pick. They looked into filing a lawsuit against the NFL pertaining to the draft and saying it's illegal. He even told them that they also considered going to the United States Football League. They didn't want to go to Chicago so badly. And then the kicker of it all is he tells, the writer, the son, Caleb, well, my dad, he's just worried about me going there and taking bullets. He's worried about getting shot. He tells the writer, I'm worried about getting shot. Now, listen, I've been in Chicago. I lived in Chicago. I get that, but you don't tell a writer that. Are you nuts? I mean, he has basically said Chicago sucks. The Bears suck. The organization sucks. I don't want to be there, but you know what? I changed my mind. I met people, and I liked them. He did say that, but you don't throw that out there. Now everybody in Chicago knows your initial reaction was Chicago stinks. And it's not like he was great last year. He better be really good, or they are going to be booing him the very first bad pass he makes. I mean, how could you be so stupid as to say things like that?
Is a place that you need to just show up and give effort, and you endear yourself to the fans. It's really not that hard. Now, a situation like that, and I've had to tell the kids this, and we started this when they were 10, and everybody started to have a phone, and we were coaching, a travel softball team, and I kept telling the girls, everything you do is on the record. When you post something online, it's on the record. Someone will find it. You think you deleted it. It's up there. So for someone not to tell him that if you say something to a writer on the record, let alone a guy like Seth Wickersham, who writes these really detailed, good books and does the work and has a reputation, that if he writes it, it was said.
Right.
To think maybe keep that one in the back pocket and say, yeah, let's go, okay, we're going to be okay. Like it's not, you don't have to say anything, whether you like it or not, whether it's ideal or not, or any of that stuff. You don't have to say anything like that. So yes, I'm surprised when I heard it, and I said 100%, absolutely, you are going to have all the pressure in the world this season. You got to be good. You got to be real good, because they are going to come for you with the pitchforks. I don't even know who the backup is. I have no idea who the backup in Chicago is, but he's going to become the most popular quarterback in Chicago pretty quick if this guy doesn't do well.
Yeah. It's almost like, Dave, it's almost like they said, well, I went to Chicago, so let me tell you all the things behind the scene and how I was considering not going to Chicago and considering throwing a lawsuit out there and ripping the city, because I could say that now because I did go to Chicago. That may make sense if you're not, familiar with dealing with people, but that doesn't make sense. I mean, he played at USC. He's dealt with the media before, father as well, I'm sure. To think that you're going to be able to get away with saying, you know what, I was worried about my son taking bullets. Oh my God. And saying the offensive coordinator sucks, basically. It's where quarterbacks go to die. And if you don't think the fans are going to turn on you, it's not like they had a great year last year. So I just so dumb. I mean, you're asking the fan base to yell and scream at you the first bad moment you have. It's amazing.
Oh,
it really
man, it's a tough look. That's a tough look.
Yeah.
Not as tough as the look is going to be for this Black Cloud play of the night, which, by the way, who said that? Was that Niemi that came that said something, or was that a different guy that said something about your Black Cloud play of the night tonight? Who was that? Frank? Who is that?
I'm not sure what they say. They don't even know what it is. They're already complaining.
No, they were complaining last night.
Oh,
last night that we got last night. Got us.
Dude had one strikeout through 3 innings. We were looking great. He's not a strikeout pitcher. He only had one. He had none through the first 2, only 1 through 3. That Yohan Moncada, the former Red Sox, he sucks. Oh my goodness. We got the Chris Sale for him. That's basically what that trade was. We got now he's with the Angels. He struck out twice. I mean, just that was the killer. Yeah, they got 5. We got 5. Last inning, 1 out in the 5th inning.
It was Chad Drufke. He said the Wetzel Black Cloud strikes again tonight as Scott thinks his Celts are done and they blow out New York. Bye pizza money. So, it worked yesterday.
That's probably what was split. The Black Cloud was split. It was kind of, it wasn't officially on the Celtics, but we leaned towards the Celtics. So the power of the Black Cloud, once we got to the nighttime baseball, kind of lost its thunder, if you will. Pardon the pun. But we're back to the winner's circle tonight. We got a good one for you tonight. So this one can't lose tonight.
Good.
1-1, real quickly recapping here. 1-1 still after 2. No goals in the second period. So that's looking pretty good. Over-under is 4.5. And then the NBA is underway. We got early on 12-10 OKC over Denver. Black Clouds coming up next.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas?
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong.
It is incorrect. He's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
doing your thing now where you double down on a take that is incorrect.
The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play.
He's
over
not,
a 7th-round
There were 2 perfectly rated quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Hour number 1, closing it out, final segment. You know what that means. Time for our best play, our Black Cloud play of the day. All right, a little setback last night. We had it, boy. We were looking real good. Only 1 strikeout through 3 innings with an over-under of 4.5 with a non-strikeout guy. But for whatever reason, he decided to strike out 4 guys over the last 2 innings, and our under 4.5 did not hit. So still 32-19. It happened, but it's just tough. I saw it I was following it for a little bit, and then I, got on the train to go home, and I kind of forgot about it. And then at the end of the day, I was like, oh, that's right. Wait, how'd we do here, right? When I got back to the house and I saw he had 5, I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? I don't know how the boys in Vegas knew, but they just knew he was getting 5, and he never had 5. First time he's had 5 strikeouts since Little League, for goodness sakes. So back to the winners. Well, we will go. There you see it. No fooling around tonight. Give me the Dodgers, minus the 205. We did the 1.5 on the 5 on the line to Trends. This one, we're just going to play them straight. I don't think you're going to have to worry about it. They're not losing 2 of 3 to the A's, and that's the case here. It's the rubber game of a 3-game series. Dodgers are on fire. They're at home. They don't lose at home. You got some stiff on the hill for the A's. I looked it up. The Dodgers are 12-4, 11-4, 12-4 against teams like the A's, who are actually halfway decent. But you know what I mean, like the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Oakland A's or the Colorado Rockies, those teams, they don't lose to those teams. They may struggle a little bit with the Arizonas of the world, but they don't lose against teams like the A's, especially 2 out of 3 at home. So go ahead, lay the wood. If you want to put it in a parlay with one of the later games or in-game live, do that. But Dodgers are winning tonight, minus 205, Dave.
Can't argue. I everything I have with the best home record and only 4 losses at home, Beto pitching, everything indicates that the Dodgers are going to win. I broke out the Dodger stuff tonight for it. I love the Dodger blue. I'm with you. I think this one gets there. Black Cloud play of the night. We could take another W. It's been working out okay. And despite the fact that last night you got caught, I mean, of course it was close. You ran it to the end. It was a half that you lost by a half. Happens. Have you checked on the basketball game since we've started? The basketball game is now Nuggets 20, Thunder 12. Wow. The Thunder are still 1.5 or 2.5 point favorites. It keeps bouncing back and forth. This is a good start for Denver, right? Looks like they're. I mean, there's still 5 minutes left. Yeah.
Yeah, they ran off 9 straight points. It was 12-11. Now it's 20-15, but they were down 12-11. When we went to break. So interesting. They're only laying that they're still favored. Maybe the score's a little off because it can't be 23-18 Denver and OKC still being favored, right? I mean, they weren't that big of a favorite to start with. That to me tells me that maybe that's not the right score. That it's a little bit closer than 8 points.
You can't flip the favorite
too soon.
Too soon when you do the in-game because they're going to come back. Like it doesn't mean that they're trailing early and then everybody starts to bet. Like you get the waterfall on your rod screen, like your ticker, your bet ticker. Right. Chase OKC. So you're very hesitant to flip the favorite, especially in a decider. I mean, this game will do a ton of handle for the books tonight. This will be.
Thing in town.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, the hockey's going on, but the hockey, is a lesser scale than the basketball, and there's no baseball to compete with it. So it's all hands on deck here. Let's get some action. So it'll be good.
You liked OKC, you said, right?
I do. I think OKC wins tonight. I do. I think their last game was so impressive to me, going from boys to men. Like there's a young team that found a way to win on the road in Denver. That was one thing. Then they came home and I thought they were dead to rights multiple times throughout the game. And then they literally took over the fourth quarter, won the game, didn't cover that big number, but won. And what I thought took control of what they needed to do for themselves. One of those tests that I think teams take to get to the next level. They passed it with flying colors in my eyes. So I carry it over to tonight. Could be completely wrong. I mean, Denver's great and won the title 2 years ago and has Jokic and everybody else playing perfect. I mean, they're playing really good basketball. So I don't know.
Yeah, I like Denver. I think Denver's going to extend the series.
Okay.
But hopefully it goes down to the wire. Hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully it's a competitive game. I haven't seen two of those in the NBA. But, I would still take Denver right now. All right, hour number 2. Coming up next.
your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never
They
does.
played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that he wasn't as good as Quinn
they've ever
Ewers.
got to Texas.
It wasn't that he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian
Why
made
would it be
very
Quinn
clear
Ewers'
the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong. It is incorrect.
I just told you he's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing
him
your thing
because
now
I
where you
expect him to
double
have a
down on a
decent
tape
season. No, I'm
that
not
is
doing that.
incorrect
The
when I
best
show it's
quarterback
incorrect.
prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over
not,
a 7th-round
there were
pick
two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback
Stop
recruits
it.
in the history of the sport.
Quinn
Vince
Ewers couldn't
Young
even play at
and
Ohio
Quinn
State.
Ewers.
He couldn't even play at
Vince
Ohio
Young
State.
and Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in game live, game day on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza on this Thursday evening. Limited stuff, but that's okay. We can still make some money with the boys in Vegas. We got baskets going on. They're setting close out the first quarter with 2.5 minutes left. Nuggets up 10-30-20. Over-under is up to 226.5. Gave out the over. 217 with the boys on the podcast as a best bet tonight. I did like Denver too, but I really did love the over. These games that are elimination games are going over for whatever reason.
Yes,
it's a trend that I've noticed over the years. So both from last night. So I do like points for whatever. You'd think it would be just the opposite, right? David, I'm facing elimination. I'm going to play great defense, but that's game 7 maybe, but not the other games for whatever reason. So
for whatever reason, it continues to happen that way. Listen, this is a really good start for Denver. I mean, they are now officially the favorite in game, -2.5, minus 140-45 on the money line. So if you were waiting to get a better price on OKC, now's the time. I mean, 2.5 or plus money, small, plus 110 on the money line. It's coming back. It will go back and forth, and I think OKC will close. Maybe not at the end of this quarter, but they'll make a run here at the beginning of the second.
Yeah. Gilchrist Alexander has 1 point. So if he had 12 points, you'd be worried. But with only 1 point, he's yet to show tonight. He will show. He'll end up with close to 30 when everything is said and done, right? But he's 0 of 1. He's not even shooting.
That's okay.
Interesting, right?
Yeah. That
7
doesn't
minutes.
really happen that often. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
They played 9 guys. It's kind of they go deep. He's only played 7 minutes. Well, they've only gotten 10 minutes. So.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're a Denver fan, that's not bad. Like I said, I think they win. How's the Joker doing? He's got 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Murray's got 11, and Christian Braun with 7.
Yeah. Look at your Murray, man. That's a hell of a two guys combo. They get it done, and then they start to dish to Gordon and Porter and whoever else. But my goodness, 11 points in the first quarter. How about OKC covering a guy? Like, get a hand up in his face.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What do you think, guys? Yeah. What do you think? No hitter watch. It's early. It's early. Through 4, but not that many hits were expected between Texas and the Rangers and Houston. So it's no score. Great for our underplay, under 7. Astros have 3 hits off DeGrom, and the Rangers have yet to get a hit off Hunter Brown, who's been great this year. Right? So definitely 38 pitches too.
Texas Rangers have a 23-21 record. How do they have a winning record? They've won 5 in a row, 7-3 in their last 10. They can't score. They don't hit.
It's amazing. You look at their lineup, right? I mean, you think Texas, you think, hot air, balls flying out all over the place, and it may end up being that way. But for right now, Smith is hitting 309, their leadoff hitter. Okay. Langford's 250. Peterson, he sucks, Jock Peterson. $128. Oh, does he stink? Adolis Garcia, 227. He's a good player. He should be hitting close to 300, right? Simeon, $178. Young is 289. That's actually pretty good. Obviously, Carter 214, Berger 200, and their catcher hitting 254 high. I mean,
I got this right here. I should have looked at this before the game. This would have helped. Hunter Brown enters this outing having thrown 10 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings. Well, you can add another 4 to that. So he's pitched well. And I guess Texas has outscored opponents by a 30-9 margin during its current 5-game winning streak. The Rangers have out-homered opponents 13-4 during that streak. But don't put too much into that because 3 of those was just they smoked the Rockies 3 times.
Right.
So those numbers can be inflated a little bit. If Vecchio was here, he'd probably have a stat for us about, some this,
the
that,
wind
whatever.
of this, that length of the bat, times the wind velocity,
Right.
and the sun is shining. Yeah, I wonder if he's got a trend for that. Good old Tom.
Hopefully we'll get Vecchio
Next
on
time.
tomorrow. We'll ask him about that. Yeah.
Not anymore. We won't. I will say Hunter Brown, right? 8 starts this year, 4. Now he's not going 9 innings, but 4 scoreless starts. He pitched shutout baseball his last time out in 5 2/3 against Cincinnati. He scoreless baseball against Toronto in 7 innings. Scoreless baseball against St. Louis in 6. Scoreless baseball in 6 against Seattle. And the other 3, he's allowed 3, 2, and 2.
How about
what are the odds of him, Cy Young? He's got to be up there, right?
I would think so.
I don't have that here.
Right here, I'll take a look. Brown can become the first pitcher across the majors to reach 7 wins in 2025 if he gets the win tonight. His 1.48 ERA is 4th best in Major League Baseball this season, entering Thursday. 4th best.
Wow.
He's 17-6 with a 2.22 ERA in 31 starts over the past calendar year, dating back to May 15, 2024. Only Paul Skeens has a lower ERA in all of baseball. Why are we not betting on Hunter Brown every game?
Yeah.
What the hell are we doing? Put him on a list.
It's an automatic play, no matter where he's pitching, right? You get them in a short series. I know they're struggling, but boy, you put him and Valdez, 1, 2 at your top of your rotation. If this guy continues to pitch like this, if they get in, that would be a tough. Wouldn't be too many teams to sign up to, to face the Astros in the postseason.
Right.
That's amazing. So, but no score. Bottom 5. Over-under is down to 3.5. He's only got 38 pitches.
In the 5th. That is really low. Usually you don't ever put it under 4.5 through 5. Like you got to get through 5 because in the 5th is when they score runs like the most. 5th and 6th innings. I said for years we had these studies and we were doing it ourselves and keeping track of it. The 5th and the 6th inning were when the most runs are scored in a baseball game. So I can't believe that number's 3.5. That is really somebody saying, you know what? Somebody's getting shut out tonight, boys. Somebody's probably getting shut out, right?
Yeah.
3.5.
DeGrom's got 63 pitches through 5, so he's good for another 30 pitches. They've been letting him go, into the 90s now. So he's good for another 2 or 3 innings. Brown's only got 38 pitches through 4 innings. He's good for until his arm falls off.
Yeah.
So he's cruising. I tell you what, does FanDuel offer, they do sometimes, other times they don't, about a no-hitter. I know they offer it before the game. Let me see if I can find it.
Let me see. I'm looking now.
Extra innings.
Plus hockey game's 1-1. Third period's underway, by the way. 18 minutes left.
Okay.
Still tied 1-1. Washington's on a power play for another 50 seconds. We got our guy Lorne watching the show. He said in-game betting is the way to go. He likes the in-game betting because he can see certain things. I agree 100%, Lorne. Making pre-game bets anymore is really hard. I love the in-game stuff.
Yeah.
There's way more value there. Unless you see something pre-game that you don't think you're ever going to see during the game, then you make a play. But, the in-game stuff is way, way better for me. Let me try to
Tw-
find this.
27-1. Either team to throw a no-hitter. Won't be
What?
Texas, or won't be Texas, because Houston already has a hit. They just took it down. Wow, bastards! Did someone get a hit? Just took it down.
They're watching a
Oh,
show.
because Texas, Texas is batting, but that's when you want to put it up there. That's when people want to bet, because the Rangers are batting now, right? That's when we're thinking about it.
When we come back, I have the AL Cy Young on.
Oh, good, cool.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not gonna be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day on a Thursday evening. Light schedule, but we got some playoff action, so it doesn't take a whole lot to keep us entertained. We got hockey, we got NBA, got a couple of baseball games as well. So let's bring in our second guest of the evening. You can listen to him co-hosting the Advantage Sports Betting Podcast with our good buddy Michael Fiddle, who joins us all the time, and that is Drew Johnson. Drew, Scott, and Dave, how are you on this Thursday evening?
I mean, if the Leafs were playing better, I'd be better. But other than that, it's been a nice playoff run. Been enjoying the Nuggets Thunder game right now. So,
okay, real quick, let's just get it out of the way because we were talking about it during the break. The Leafs have no chance tomorrow, right? Like you're going to shave the playoff beard. Like, is it over? It's done, right? I mean, after what we just saw in Game 5, I can't.
I can't either. If they somehow pull off a miracle and win in Florida tomorrow, I will be shocked, and I will still think that we're going to lose in Game 7. That's how bad this is. At this point, sell everybody, get rid of Matthews, get like just blow it up. I don't want to do this anymore. It is so painful at this point. I'm just
hat.
utterly
Never had a Leafs hat. I picked this up when I really thought that they were going to do it. And I love this thing. And I was wearing it every game and they were winning. And then I didn't wear it when they were in Florida, but I wore it in Game 5. And now I'm just going to have to put it away because I don't think it's going to happen.
Probably going to have to be pulled out when we get, a first overall draft pick or something like that, and maybe a player who can actually have some grit and some grind to him instead of these guys who are they gave up 15 shots to 3 or something yesterday before, and it was very clear within 10 minutes of watching that game that they were going to lose and that they wanted to lose really.
All right.
I don't know what to say.
How about Washington, Carolina then? How about Washington, Carolina? Tied at 1 midway through the third. Can the Caps get it done and survive?
I mean, at home, they probably can. I do like this Canes team, though. I really think that they're going to take this. It might not be tonight. Obviously, they'll give them a good fight. But I think when this gets back to Carolina, it's going to be a real tough ask for the Caps to beat this Hurricanes team who's been rolling since the All-Star break and even before. This has been really one of the best teams in the league all season. And I just don't see it from the Caps at this point. But could surprise us, I just think the Canes are kind of a truck, and I expect them to get this done and get on to the finals.
I'm in Vegas, and everybody here in town today was kind of in the doldrums a little bit because the season ended for them last night to Edmonton. Is Edmonton got a realistic shot at winning the Stanley Cup? I mean, they got to Game 7 last year. They look different to me this year, Drew. They really, really do.
They
now
do.
they have Skinner playing for real, like for keeps. And I don't know what it is, but to me, they are the favorite.
I would say so, too, considering what we're seeing from the East right now. Edmonton, really, really impressive, especially that first series when they had all of the injuries and they were still able to get by the Kings and win some tough games on the road in that building, which the Kings didn't lose. What did they lose? 4 games all season in that building in regulation? Yep. It was a little bit crazy. So I was actually fading Edmonton. I didn't think they could get it done. And since that series, I've been all over them and have been happy to get paid out quite a bit. Obviously, they were underdogs in a lot of those games against the Las Vegas guys. And I was pretty amazed that they got it done in 5 and they got it done in Vegas.
All right, little NBA. Got a close game. Denver by 6 early on, midway through the second quarter, 38-32, or 37-32. Your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I think we're seeing elimination game Murray so far, as we've seen before. I think the announcers quoted that he has something like 4 40-point games in elimination games over the course of his career, and he was questionable tonight. I was pretty sure he was going to go, as I think everybody was, and the performance he's putting on is excellent so far. And if he gets gassed, you can always fall back to Jokic, who is playing out of his mind as well. The tough part is going to be this Oklahoma City team doesn't quit. They are young. They're not going to stop coming at you throughout the game, and I don't know if Denver has quite enough over the next 2 games to get this done against a team that's this deep. I think they're going to expend quite a lot of energy tonight if they do win this one, getting to Game 7, and I think that OKC will probably end up taking that series. But I am surprised that it's gone this far, and I'm kind of amazed at just how this team has come together with only 6-7 real guys on it, right? Like, they've just leaned into it so hard. And big performances from everybody, sort of making Jokic not all that relevant, or not relevant. I shouldn't say that. He's definitely been relevant, but he's had some bad games, and they've held him together with the rest of the team. So
So as good as the playoff beard looks, that background is looking good too, and it's green. And the Celtics are playing the Knicks tomorrow. Fiddle's in New York, right? Like, so he's all about the Knicks and the New York and the this and that. You guys do the show and all that, whatever. But like, Scott is so down on the Celtics, and he's a Celtics fan, and he's so down. He says they have no shot of winning both games, let alone one game. What do you think about tomorrow? There's the line right there. Thanks, boys. Good job. 2.5, 209.5. Any thoughts on that real quick?
Real quick, I would still take the -2.5 from the Knicks right now. I think that team just had kind of a shooting aberration game last game. Obviously, the Celtics are a proud team, and they want to show their guy who's, in surgery or just out of surgery after watching the game that they're there for him and trying to get this to go as deep as it can. But I would really expect the Knicks to take this by at least 3, 4, 5 points.
Yeah. 3 or 4 touchdowns tomorrow, more like it. Thanks, Drew.
Yeah.
We'll do it again soon.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas?
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong. It is incorrect.
I told you he's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing your thing now where you double down on a take that is incorrect.
The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play.
He's not so. There were 2 perfectly rated quarterbacks in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grids. Scott and David, hour number 2. Thanks again, Drew Johnson. Check out his podcast, the Advantage Sports Betting Podcast with Michael Fiddle, who joins us all the time. And they got a big WNBA kickoff tomorrow, or actually on Saturday. I think he said it was going to be released. So
no, tomorrow. It
is tomorrow? Okay, season starts Saturday, but yeah, so. The Advantage Sports Betting Podcast, him and Michael Fiddle does a great job.
Are you excited about the W?
Yeah, it's one more thing to bet on. Yeah, I mean, listen, if it was, if it was during, the NBA and hockey season, would I be? No, probably not. But it's okay. There. It's everyone's got to have this one little extra thing. So for me, it's a WNBA. I don't mind it. I think it's easy to bet, dare you say that, or easier, right? You don't generally get home court advantage. There's nobody in the stands. If the teams stink, they stink. You don't get upsets in the WNBA. I'm not going to say never, but the good teams can win on the road or at home, so you get the discounted price on the road. All these women, I'll tell you this, with the small basketball, they could shoot. Bet overs in the WNBA. I don't ever bet an under. So over. Yeah, they could score. They could score. So you get some decent betting angles, believe it or not.
You really made a good case there. Got people excited to watch the W. That was an odd way of saying that you're excited about it. Didn't sound like you were excited about anything. When's the last time you got really excited about something like this, like a sport starting or something? Like
I thought you were asking about my wife or something there.
No.
When's the last time I've really been excited? Well, I can include her into the equation as well. Probably. It's got to be a couple of years. It's got to be a couple of years.
Oh boy. Yep.
I think
that's what we do here. Will you be excited if the Capitals win tonight? I mean, do you get excited about sports at all anymore?
Maybe when my son told me he was getting a job, maybe that's.
Maybe that's all right. There you go. All right, that's good. Yeah. Will you be excited when you go see the daughter graduate? Will that be exciting?
That'd be a pain in the ass. I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not a morning person. You can text me at 1 o'clock at night. I'm awake every night. I'm not a morning person, so that's gonna that's because I got to get up there by 12:30 because we're gonna stay Monday night into Tuesday. The ceremony is Monday afternoon, so you got to be there by 11 o'clock or so. So we got to leave here around by 6 o'clock and really 5:30. But I'll do 6. So I'm not looking forward to that. But I'm looking forward to having no more college bills. That yes.
Right?
But at least not with that one anyway.
That'll be nice. Yeah, that'll be nice someday. Although I got the 11-year-old, and I don't know where she's headed, but we got a long way to go for that. My buddy had a Penn State graduation.
Give her a spatula and a cookbook, and just say, it's not the worst thing in the world. That's not the worst thing in the world. Not going to work.
Listen to this. My friend had his daughter graduate Penn State. All right, over the weekend.
Right.
It was $1,000 a night in a minimum 2-night stay. All right. They know, everybody's going up there to watch and see their kids and all this other stuff. So he made a decision, sounded like a Scott Wetzel decision, told the wife, we're getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We're driving 3 hours to Penn State. We're hanging out the whole day after she graduates, and we're driving back.
Yep.
And that's what they did. That was the only way they could make it work. I mean, $1,000 a night. What's the most you've ever paid for a hotel room? What's the biggest rate you ever paid for a hotel room? Do you know?
Including vacations?
Yeah, anywhere.
Yeah.
What's the most expensive hotel room you ever got?
I don't think they're not 1,000. Yeah, definitely not 1,000. Yeah. We probably spent it doesn't sound like it until you think about it, but we probably spent $3,000 for a week stay. Which is like, okay, but then when you start to think about it, okay, that's $500-$600, 5 nights. So probably about $650 a night.
A night. Wow. Okay. I think the most we've ever spent was $499 a night. And we thought about it for a long time and said, I don't know if that was worth it when we left. I mean, it was nice,
right?
But $500 a night is a lot. If you guys are watching us, tweet at us. What's the most expensive you ever paid for a hotel room? Because like the rooms in Vegas during peak times, whoo, are they expensive? Oh, baby.
That's against the law, by the way. That's price gouging. When you jack your rates up from like what, 100 and 150 maybe normally to 1,000 a night and require 2 nights? Wow. Crazy. We'll update our poll question and the scores when we come back.
your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never
They
does.
played side by side
DRS.
with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't
the
that
best
it wasn't as
quarterback
good as
prospect
Quinn
they've ever
Ewers.
got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian
Why
made
would it be
very
Quinn
clear
Ewers' program?
the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick,
Quinn
Arch
Ewers'
Manning is
team.
not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong.
I
It
just
is
told
incorrect.
you he's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm
you're
buying
doing
him
your
because
thing now
I
where you
expect him to
double
have a
down on a
decent
take
season. No, I'm
that
not
is
doing that.
incorrect
The
when I
best
show it's
quarterback
incorrect.
prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over a
not, though.
7th-round
There were
pick
two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback
Stop
recruits
it.
in the history
Stop
of the
it.
sport.
Quinn
Vince
Ewers couldn't
Young
even play at
and
Ohio
Quinn
State.
Ewers.
He couldn't even play at
Vince
Ohio
Young
State.
and Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, 30 past hour number 2 or so. Looks like heading towards overtime. I got 5 minutes left here. We're tied at 1. We got 2 goals in the first period. Really probably should have had at least a couple of more, but we ended up 1-1. Nothing in the second, Dave, and then so far nothing here in the third. From what I can see, it's not a boring 1-1. It's like one of those where people tell you, boy, that was great. It seems like that. A lot of scoring. It looks like they're going up and down the ice. Not too many, scrums, which I really are just dopey in my world. Either fight or just, get off the ice. So, but we got 1-1. Over-under is 3.5. If you think we can get a goal and then an empty netter or a tying goal, it's plus 470. Well, I don't think I've ever seen a vig that high in an over-under. Over 3.5 plus 470. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Or 8-1 on the under.
Right. I don't think it's going over. I think we're going to overtime. This thing's final is going to be decided 2-1. There's been 2 penalties in the game. Both of them, one in the second period, one in the third period. 19 shots for Carolina and 18 shots for Washington. And 42 hits for Carolina, 39 for Washington. It's a really physical game. And I love it. I mean, 0-2 on the power play for Carolina, 0-3 on the power play for Washington. Carolina is dominating the faceoffs, 31-16. A lot of times the team that wins the faceoffs in a game like this ends up winning a faceoff in the offensive zone and scores. So I'm not saying, it's minus 130 and even money. There's no real advantage right now. But you would think Carolina, you liked Washington pregame. I like Washington pregame. Let's get Washington to get another game in and get us more hockey. Anytime we can talk hockey, like we did with Johnson and, whomever else comes on the show. I love it.
Good. I just put in over 3.5 plus 490. So
can't resist a good price, can you? You love the good price.
I can't. I got 4.5 minutes. I need a goal with a minute and a half realistically left. Well, I need a goal, but I need a goal, and then I need the empty netter. So if I can get a goal with a minute and a half left, I got a solid chance for the empty netter. So that's why I say I need 1 goal over the next 3 minutes.
Well,
it's going to cost
at least. That's fine. Take your shot, but I don't think it's happening. NBA game.
Could go 10
check
to
in
1,
with that.
by the way. You want to go 10-1 on Carolina laying a goal and a half?
No.
We got to root for Washington.
Why?
Obviously.
Yeah.
More. We've seen crazy things happen.
It could happen. Yeah, it could happen. It's going to happen even straight. The referees have put the whistle away, so don't worry about getting a penalty. 47-43, Thunder lead the Nuggets. 4.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. So just like that got flipped
that didn't take
around.
long.
And now OKC is back to being a 6.5 point favorite as they just extend the lead, 49-44. Telling you, this team, they're even money to win a championship. In some places, they're minus money to win the whole thing.
But that will change if the Celtics win tomorrow, right? Because now the Celtics are back in the equation. They're thinking they got either the Knicks or Cleveland and then Minnesota. But if you throw the Celtics in there, I bet that goes up. I wouldn't bet that.
The Celtics aren't the Celtics that they were before Tatum got hurt.
Well,
you just said it yourself. Yeah,
that's
so
true.
it's either the Pacers, the Knicks, or the Celtics. So
FanDuel's got them at minus 145.
Wow, somebody's taking a lead on that. That price is telling me. I'd have to ask the guy in the room that put that number up, but this is what that tells me. They think that the Knicks are winning tomorrow. That's a price right there that tells me the Knicks are winning tomorrow, and OKC is going to end up, playing against either the Knicks and or the Pacers. And I mean, with home court advantage against either one of those teams, it's going to be a big number, bigger than you think as far as the series price. So it's at least that
4-1
minus
4-1.
No. But it'll be over. It'll be minus 145. No, it'll be less. But it'll be at least 2-1. So it'll be less than 145. So I mean, if you like OKC,
right. Yeah.
It's not a bad play to lay it now. If you think they're going to win tonight and or Game 7, they're going to be a bigger favorite.
Now you still got to go through Minnesota. Whereas you wait, you don't have to worry about that. I think Minnesota can beat them.
I do too. Like, why is nobody talking about that? And I know Minnesota has an easy time, and they went through Golden State without Steph, so it looked way easier than it probably should have. But my goodness, like, people are just going, oh, well, OKC's just going to cruise by Minnesota too. I think Minnesota's going to provide some serious resistance. They're going to have a tough time inside, and Ant's going to score a lot of points. I can't wait to watch the games. I think it'll be electric. It'll be a great series.
Teacups have 11 road playoff wins the last 2 years. That's the most in the NBA. So they can win on the road. They're 27. Oh. They're a lot like Indiana, just kind of laying in the weeds and no one's paying attention to them. They're 27-6, Dave, their last 33 games, including 10-2 their last 12. I mean, they're playing really from like the All-Star break on. They really just turned it on. It took Randall and hit
the goal horn. Hit the goal horn. I can't say his name. Svechenko. Carolina Hurricanes.
Carolina? Oh,
Carolina.
Fudge.
Carolina Hurricanes. 2-1.
Shiznikov?
They're looking at it right now. I don't know what the question would be, why they would even review this, but
I think it was a pass.
I don't know what that was. Boy, that was not. I don't know. What a bad goal. That's a crusher. So you're live now to get that total over.
Yeah, I should have told you. I should have did the Carolina minus 1.5.
I know.
Now I had a 10-1 ticket versus a 470. I got to see this replay. They got it around the net, right? No big deal. Oh, their own net. All right. So they got a little break there, 3-on-2, nothing crazy. They pass it. It's the I don't know how it went in. It was like an angle of like 13 degrees. I mean, through 3 people.
I don't know.
How the heck did this go? Oh, my goodness. They're going to get eliminated on a goal like that. That's the second lousy one he gave up tonight.
The net is empty. 140 left.
Oof,
the net is empty.
Oh,
and we already got the first miss. So we got it's an icing. So Washington gets a face-off in the zone. 137 left. Did this get deflected? Trying to watch this goal. I mean, he was on the goal line.
He's on the goal line. I don't know how the hell it got in. It must have hit one of the defensemen in front and ricocheted back. There's no way he could have shot that like in, right? I'm looking at it now. He's on the goal line to the left of the goaltender. No, it just kind of trickled through, I think.
He didn't see him. Yeah, he didn't see it right. And he was, I mean, that's a terrible angle. Thompson's on the bench, just like, man, what just happened? I mean, everything was set up to go to overtime. Now you're sitting on this 490. We're going to crank this up. If you get a goal here, that's a nice hit. It takes care of the week.
That would be nice. Right. That's a classic, by the way. Just get the puck on the net. Just go ahead and just shoot the puck. Just get it on net. You never know what could happen. Yeah. So, poll question real quickly. Who's got the best chance of coming back? We didn't use Washington. Smart on us. Denver over OKC. With Celtics over the Knicks still leading away 50% of the vote. That's crazy. 28% or 23% Denver. Toronto 15, Winnipeg 11. Cam Stewart coming up next.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong. It is incorrect.
He's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing your thing now where you double down on a take that is incorrect.
The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play.
He's
over
not
a 7th-round
There were
pick
two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave. Another 20 minutes or so. Yes. How about that? Little plus 470, 490 ticket in our back pocket. Cha-ching, cha-ching. As Carolina scores and they get the empty netter. And they win 3-1. How about that? What's going on, Cam? And by the way, the no-hitter is done for Texas.
Be as hot as you, Wetzel. What am I going to call you, Harry Horseshoe? I had Washington plus 1.5 to cap off a parlay. Thanks for nothing. But I should learn my own lesson. Like now with these empty net stuff, like they're not pulling the goalie 38 seconds. You have 2 chances, the game's over. Honestly, the other team gets the puck, you're dead. It looks so good on paper, and I was just thinking about this over the break. It's like that teaser in football. And I remember my first bookie as a kid, and we're sitting there and we're talking, whatever. Guy lights up a smoke. He goes, "Teasers keep the lights on in Vegas." Is that not true, Dave?
That's true. That is true.
Like you look at these sweetheart teasers and go, "How can I lose?" And then one team loses by like 28, you're done, and you're paying mega vig. So good on you, Wetzel. And I'm going to be honest with you, Wetzel. If not me, somebody at SportsGrid. I don't like losing when you're winning. I like to win as a team, but hey, that's life. Golf today, great start. If you T5 the guys, and this is what we're talking about again. Jaeger is in 4th. There, I'll show you. This is proof of purchase, my guys. I actually bet Ryan Gerard last night because you know what? I checked out this guy and I go, wow, he went to North Carolina. Tournament's in North Carolina. But anyway, he gets sawed off. But I think the leader is Jonathan Vegas. Sorry, guys. I know this tournament just ended, so I'm not going to blame Font Guy. Jonathan Vegas shot 7 under, okay? All my other guys, 3 guys that I gave you at a 7, though, are top 5. So you saw off the bet. You know what I mean, Dave? And I've been thinking about this. Right. There's only one guy now. I want to get paid for something. And it's one of those like people are like, oh, no, go all in. Sure, the enhanced first-round leader bet might pay a couple points more, but I get paid when my guy comes top 5 or 6. And I got 3 of them. Like, you know what I mean? So this is the thing about gambling. And I'll give Gabe credit with his like plus 2.5 parlays and hockey and all this crazy. Think about it tonight. That's instead of 1.5, you get 2.5 and you find another dance partner or 2. You win that bet with Washington instead of losing with the stupid empty netter. But anyway, good start to the golf. But guys, the real story of the day, the stars and the favorites did crap. Take a look at that leaderboard. Like
that's what I was gonna ask you, Cam. Like we had heard nothing about all about the rain and about the long hitters having an advantage and this and that, and then the course kind of played. I thought the players got the best of the course this week, and we had Brady Cannon on earlier. I asked him this: can we expect this the rest of the way, like tomorrow, or does the course get back a little bit? And because I don't want to see somebody shoot 20 under and win this thing. Nobody's shooting 20 under winning this thing, right? No way.
This is how we attack it now from the live betting market. If you have a book that has it, do exactly what you said. This course is going to bake out these greens. And then when you have soft fairways to hard greens, even the best players in the world bounce, murdered in the water, in a bush, in deep rough. They got lucky today because it was almost the perfect, like they said the greens were puttable. The keys to U.S. Opens and PGA Championships, you get greens like glass. And if they say the sun keeps on baking this course, the greens will be hard. But they have a sub-air system in the fairways and stuff. They were taking fairway shots today. I'm watching water and like stuff come off the ball. It was almost preferred lies, but you don't do that in a major championship. Bottom line is this, Dave. These guys, if this sun keeps on coming out, watch what happens to the greens. There's going to be guys who putt it off the greens like in the old days. So, no, 20 under is not going to win this tournament.
Okay.
Let me ask you this, Cam. Is it good for hockey or bad? Washington gets eliminated. They won the Metropolitan. Vegas got eliminated last night. They won the Pacific. Winnipeg could get eliminated tonight, and they more than likely will, if not tonight, then tomorrow or the next game. And then Toronto wins the Atlantic. And, well, we all know about your Maple Leafs. Is that good that all 4 division leaders had the most points?
This guy, Dave? And we all know about your Maple Leafs. Listen, let's just get no. Fair?
Is that good or bad for hockey? Right? Is that good or bad?
It doesn't. No, Scott. No. The answer is it doesn't matter. They love it, and they're never going to change the system. Want to know why? Because every loser team that comes in the league is alive with two weeks left. How are you doing if you're a Colorado Rockies fan right now or a White Sox fan? Hey, honey, you want to go to the game? Well, we might as well just walk in. They're going to give us tickets. We could probably rob a guy in another section too and take his wallet and no one will see it. Like, that's the whole thing about the NHL. They've done it this way. I think it's stupid, Scott. I'm with you. Like, what is the point of being rewarded for a successful season when you're playing one of the best or hottest teams going? Their playoff format sucks. But it's always been like, you know what I mean? It's just, this is the way it is. Gary's not changing it. But in football, you are rewarded for being the best team. You get home field and stuff. Sure, you get home ice. Who cares? The Winnipeg Jets got the St. Louis Blues, for God's sakes. They're the hottest team coming into the playoffs. And literally 2 seconds in the game, the Jets would have been eliminated in the first round, maybe not this round to Dallas. So, Scott, I don't know how to answer your question. This is the way fans hate it. I think general managers like it. And the thing is, you keep other small market teams and loser teams around longer to get gate venue. Hockey's a big gate-driven league, unlike the others.
We had Drew Johnson on earlier. He's a Toronto guy.
I love Drew.
He said if they lose tomorrow, that's it. Blow it up. He said we can't have this again. And he said it starts with Matthews, trade Matthews, and if you can get another piece and trade, blow it up. Are you on board with that?
Of course I am. We've done it every way. If you don't blow it up, what's the point? And another thing is, Mitch Marner is probably going to go to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Gabe and I talk about this. He's friends with Dubas, the Leafs' old GM. So listen, Dave, we'll talk further about this. Tavares will take a pay cut. Matthew Nyes will be the best team. Honestly, teams offered the world for Austin Matthews a few years ago. You go back in that hot tub time machine and they do that. It's like the Herschel Walker deal. Remember when Dallas won the Super Bowls? They got all those guys. The Leafs apparently had these offers for Matthews. They didn't take it. Now what are we going to get for this guy? Get out of town, bro. Matthew Nyes is my captain. He's my guy.
There you go. Cam and Gabe, top of the hour. More ranting coming up.
you revved me up again.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas?
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a seventh-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong.
It is incorrect. He's going to be number one overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing your thing now where you double down on a take that is incorrect.
The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play.
He's
over
not,
a seventh-round
There were two perfectly rated quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. So closing up shop, Cam and Gabe, top of the hour over the next two right here on SportsGrid TV as well as SportsGrid Radio. So a couple scores here, Dave. At the half, OKC does lead Denver 61-58, 119 points. So that thing's sailing over the original number, at least anyway. 232.5 is that number. Denver is a 4.5-point home underdog. And then we got just underway, 2 minutes in, no score, Dallas and Winnipeg. The number's pretty similar. Winnipeg minus 136, and then over-under is still 5.5. Little juice on the under at minus 135. So, and we got the baseball games. 1-0 Texas, bottom of the eighth inning. So unless something crazy happens, the under should hit. Yep, and then we got Dodgers and A's starting top of the hour. So our
still
5 in the line, not bad.
Still such a fun environment watching the Winnipeg Whiteout. I mean, that's where the thing originally started back in the day. They really do an unbelievable job with it. And We shall see. I think it's vital that they get the first goal. They have to get the first goal.
Yeah.
And if Dallas gets a 2-goal lead, we'll have to start coming up with a price for Dallas and Edmonton. Dallas with home ice. It'll be the third series in a row that Edmonton hasn't had home ice, and they won't be favored. Dallas will be favored if it's Dallas. I don't know if
what did they beat them last year?
Favored.
What was that? How did that series go last year?
I have to look. I don't remember.
Yeah, forget.
I don't remember. I don't remember. I remember yesterday a little bit, but I do remember the highest I ever paid for a room was $4.99 a night for a place on the beach in California for family vacation. I got Johnny Roast Beef tweeted at us. They're doing Vegas in the summer, and Mrs. Roast Beef wanted Caesar's Palace 4 nights for $1,400 a night, and he's doing Harrah's for 4 nights. $1,400 a night?
Oh, I thought 1,400 for 4 nights. I thought it was.
No, $1,400 for 4 nights. That's $350 a night. Okay. But that's the summer in Vegas. The summer in Vegas is when you can come here and stay relatively cheap. It's 110 degrees every day.
Right.
So
you got to go to like Disney World, Orlando, Myrtle Beach, Virginia Beach. That's what we do. So in the summertime, you're going to pay. You're not going to get it for less than $5. No way. Not a decent place.
You should bring the kids out and come out to Vegas. Come hang out. We'll hang out. We'll let the kids I'll get them a thing at the pool. Vinny can come hang out. It'll be great. Johnny Roast Beef got Harrah's 4 nights for $600. He said we can walk over to Caesars and eat good all week, but he's staying at the other place. And the Be Me said he had a baseball tournament at the Field of Dreams in Iowa. In the hotel they stayed at, he said was a dump, but they got him for $200 a night for 5 days.
All right, that's not that bad.
It was not nice. He said he got the 6 days at Bellagio for less. That's what happens when you come in the summer. Yeah.
That's still $200. That's not bad though. I thought it was going to be close to $500-600. If you were going out there for the Field of Dreams game, or he was just going out there at any time.
No, the kid had a tournament at the Field of Dreams.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going out there for that game.
Baseball. No, they don't do that no more.
By the way, we haven't done that in a couple of years.
Yeah, they went away.
People loved it. People loved it.
Yeah, it was too much. I guess it was too much. It was too much of a thing.
Too hard.
Cost baseball too much. Well, I guess to either get the field, get the teams there, all this stuff.
Right.
I figured it wasn't worth it. So I loved it too. I loved that movie. Were you a Field of Dreams guy?
Oh yeah, great movie. Didn't quite get the end there. Did the father know that was his son?
Yes.
I knew the son knew. I don't know. It's kind of like, no.
All this time I thought he knew.
I don't know if he did. I know in the end he said, "Thanks, Dad," or something like that. But
yeah,
if he knew that was his son, I thought they would have been a little bit more bonding there. He said,
I think he knew at the end. Like it was only at the end, and then we didn't really see that. But I think it's safe to assume, as the credits roll, he knew. I hope he knew.
And wasn't James Earl Jones alive? And then he walked back into the field. I thought the guy said you couldn't go back. He went back. He went back into the cornfield after he, crossed the line, saved the kid.
James Earl Jones was the writer. James Earl Jones was the writer, not the doc.
Oh, the doctor, whatever. The doctor, Dr. George there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it was just a little weird there in the end. Just a little weird in the end. Knicks, Celtics over Knicks somehow or another. Our audience is dumb. That's not happening. Water polo question.